like I love F-Zero, but F-Zero is it's a pretty hard game. You know, the further you go into inside of this game, in terms of difficulty, it gets much harder. But I want to play this for nostalgia. You know, what's crunchy? Yeah, I'm actually eating something. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Oh, the graphics? Okay, I thought for a second my chewing was a bit too loud. I was gonna apologize for that. So let's do some ratings of the cars here, of the vehicles. I'll tell you like what's my favorite and what's my least favorite car, because each of these cars have like their specific weight and their speed and velocity. So I always wonder, like, I'm trying to remember which one I did not like the most. They even show you like the kilometers per hour. No. No! I didn't mean to press that. Alright, so the best car is, of course, the Blue Falcon. The Blue Falcon. And I think I'm gonna go on a limb and say the Wild Goose is a good second. The Fire Stingray. I'd say this one's a third. Or, no, you know what? I take that back. I'm sorry. So, the Blue Falcon is the best, in my opinion. And I think the Fire Stingray is a close second. The Wild Goose is the third one that I like. And this is probably not the best car to use in races. Oh man, I tell you. I tell you. So, a really interesting story about games and how I got into it. I wasn't a kid that was into, like, I never got into video games when I was really young. It was really my brother who had an NES and a Super Nintendo. So the thing is, when I was young, he sold the NES. I barely even knew we had an NES in our house. But he kept the Super Nintendo. Eventually, my brother got, you know, throughout my early years, I would play some of the games that he had, right? And this was one of those games that I was playing all the time. I was playing this, I was playing Star Fox. And there was a couple other games like Roadrunner Death Valley Rally for Super Nintendo and Krusty Super Funhouse for Super Nintendo. So those were games, and he had like he had NBA Jam, he had another basketball game. But this one I remember playing the most. I wasn't really good at this game. I still to this day I'm not good at this game. I can beat like the easiest leagues, but I just remember being so impressed by the visuals. And yeah, throughout the 90s, I rented, video games from Blockbuster like everybody else did. But I think the first video game that I ever purchased may have been Yoshi's Island, right out of my allowance. I'm not sure though, but don't quote me on that. But I really do believe like that was the first game I ever got. I think that's why I love that game a lot. See, the thing is, like, I basically inherited the Super Nintendo from my brother because he didn't want to play it anymore. I was like, okay, I'm a kid, I want to play games. So you know, it's a pretty it's a pretty 10 out of 10 game. Yeah, Yoshi's Island. Yeah, we just got done playing the Game Boy Advance version. I did a deathless run of that on this past Sunday, and that was pretty scary. I gotta say, I wasn't planning on doing it. I was like, let's just try, and we did it. It's a long game. Like, if you just play it casually, still casually, it's a long game. By the way, if you press the A button, it's the boost. On the bottom right, you see like the S. Excuse me? Thank you. Oh my god. I'm losing control. Music makes you lose control. Music makes you lose control. Thank you so much, Bipolar. I really appreciate you catching the end of it. It means the world. Honestly, just anyone that comes in and just cares enough to watch really means a lot. And you know, by the way, if you look to your left and if you look to your right in the game, I've always wondered, like, what exactly is that? Like, is that like, that's not water, that's not toxic waste. Like, what is that in the background? And people have mentioned on like subreddits and you know, conspiracy videos, and not conspiracy videos, but like people have mentioned that you are racing above the skies. Like, the track is above the skies and everything around you is below you. Like, that's like the city below you. You're basically racing above sky. And below you is like the city, like the town, and because it is a futuristic racer, so, and it makes sense because if you think about it, like you're racing about like 400 to 500 kilometers per hour, and that's pretty fast, and that's very dangerous to be racing that fast around the cityscape, you know. But I never thought about that. Honestly, it never really came to my mind like that when I first was playing this game. Sadly, speaking of which, I have to go make myself some dinner. No worries, Bipolar. You go and enjoy that dinner. Thank you so much. I appreciate the lurk. Have yourself a good dinner. And come back if you need to, if you want to. And I always thought, like, on the top that was like a taxi driver trying to give you some more energy. No, you bastard. Number one. Also, I'm not even kidding. This is bringing up memories for me, but this song right here, I used to remember falling asleep to the song a lot. It's one of the most peaceful music I've ever heard in a video game. Even like when you go off cliffs in this game and you fall into like the abyss, you fall to the side, you die, you take damage. Like, when you get a game over, you hear this song too. Sometimes I intentionally get a game over just to listen to that song. Yeah, Benny Cat, that's why I'm scared. I never attempted. Ooh, no music. Like, I've wanted to tackle the F-Zero games. We definitely tackled F-Zero GX, but I heard there's like retro achievements for that game, but But I want to tackle like this game and then F-Zero X, and I don't know, like I'm not really good at racers, to be honest. That's one thing I know for sure. I'm not really good at racers. But it is a lifelong goal of mine to eventually achieve that goal. And I remember Super Smash Bros. Melee had a really nice rendition of the song in one of the stages. Thank you. Oh! No, you won't. Damn it. I can already hear them creeping up. Oh, nice turns. Okay, we got good turns. Man, those guys suck. Let's go. We put on for our city, on for our city, #1. Thank you. I love that emote. You made that, right? That's incredible. Even if you didn't, it's still like a nice looking emote. Like if I was to make a, I'm guessing that's like the theme, like, you know, because you Binny Cat, it makes sense that you have a cat emote. But if I was to make an emote, I think honestly, the bird, like the bird icon on my profile picture is probably gonna be the mascot for the channel. I don't know, man. I guess I'm just like that guy that just talks about birds a lot. I like what they signify in life, you know, like they're basically like the messengers of peace. Kami creatures. Oh yeah, this won't be up in the archives. This is just for fun. Like I'm playing this for fun. But the Teenage Blob game that we played, that's gonna be up on the archives, and the Star Fox competition cartridge game is gonna be on the archive. Maybe that one's gonna be like edited down a bit. Wow. Yeah, Binika, I played this game a heck of a ton when I was a kid, so I still remember some things here and there. Whoa! Okay, let's forget that happened. Well, I played the Night League a lot, not the harder stages, but I used to play this version, this easy league the most. Hey, Pingo, what's up, bud? Damn, you make me want to play this. You should. I mean, if you want to. What's going on, Pingo? How's your Friday going? So good to see you, bud. By the way, a couple of nights ago, we were playing the. Hold on, I gotta pause for a second. We were playing the not the prototype, Dinosaur Planet, which was the beta build or the prototype for Star Fox Adventure, and I thought about you. I remember you came through Star Fox Adventures, and we were playing Dino Planet, and we might honestly we might do a playthrough of that. I wasn't really expecting to do a playthrough of that because it's like it's a prototype, but people were curious and people were like asking like, "Hey, are you gonna do it? Like, you gonna play this game to completion?" I'm like, you know what? Why not? Beanicat says there are those games you just never lose grip of, huh? No matter how much time goes by. Yeah. So honestly, to give a specific number of like the last time I played this game was I think the last time I really played this was probably like 2013. Just based off like my memory, but in terms of like when I started playing this game and when I stopped was I think like 1997 was the last time I played this game up until later on, you know. But in the 90s when I was a kid I used to play this game a ton and there's some things you just don't forget about, you know. Oh. All right, we gotta play catch up now. I gotta say the shaking definitely messes you up, but for the time, like this was pretty impressive for you know Super Nintendo standards, you know. Yeah, Pingo, how you doing by the way? Hopefully you're doing well. Oh, that's bad. Ah, let's go. Yeah, this was a launch game. You know, can you believe that? And Super Mario World came out with the launch titles too. Thank you. Glad it's Friday. Yeah, same here. And thank you for asking if everyone's well. I'm having kind of a week. I don't know, man. Like it's been it's been a week, to say the least. I'm still trying to get over like an illness that I've had for a couple days now, and it has not been easy. Whoa. Go. I don't know if I want to attempt that specific side turn again, but oh, we did it again. Wait, how did they catch up? I took a crazy shortcut. I knew it. I knew it. Oh, that stupid car got me. Oh, brother. That car really did a number on me. Gotta make it up now. Go, go! Oh my god! Let's go! What the? Woo! Oh my god! That was clutch. Wow. I thought I was a goner. I love this game. We need to play more games that make me happy. I wonder if there's achievements working for this. Let me see. Maybe it's working, maybe it's not working, but... Do, 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 do. Yeah, I think I got the wrong ROM for this. That's okay. Hey Chase, what's going on? Good to see you. Hope you're well. Do you not use the camera anymore? You talking about the face cam? Do you want me to be frank with you, honestly? I'll be honest with everybody. I don't know if I look really that great to be on camera. And most days I just don't feel well, because I just have like this thing, problems with GERD or gastritis, and most days I don't feel like the best and I don't look the best. So I'm like, I don't want to show people that. Yeah, the face cam. Yeah. No, I'm probably gonna come back to doing the face cam again. Just I'm not ready yet. It's easier for me not to have a face cam to stream, to be honest. Like I know the face cam definitely, like, it definitely shows a bit of expression, right? For games being played. All right, God, thank you so much for being here, dude. I'm glad you caught some of the playthroughs that we did tonight. We played 2 games and this one right here, and that cool moment. Good night, man. Thanks for being here. That's cool. Just curious. No worries. I appreciate your curiosity, honestly. Um, would I never put on a face cam? No. I mean, I start like, the funny thing is that when I first started streaming back in 2019, I never had a face cam. It was basically like a picture of Bart Simpson, like a GIF picture, and that was it for a couple of months, and then I decided to just put up a face cam, like around late 2019, and I've been doing that for years. And just recently, I just felt like it's. I gotta pause the game's music for a second because I'm trying to think, and the game music is awesome, but I want to think coherently, trying to what I'm trying to say here. See, the thing is, when I play a game, when I get frustrated or depressed, losing at a game, I don't like people seeing that. I don't like people to see me getting frustrated, and well, I especially don't like people celebrating my frustration on stream. Like if people are celebrating me being pissed off at a game, I don't like that at all. Sometimes, like, I'm physically, like, it's you can physically see how pissed I am or how miserable I am when I lose at a game, and I don't like that. So I try to keep it behind wraps, like, that type of emotion. But lately, I don't know, I just haven't been really feeling that great to wanting to put a face cam on. And I'm not really like a VTuber. I don't do VTubing. I do have like a mascot, the bird profile picture is like my mascot, the red bird. And I do have I do have an avatar to kind of take its place instead of the face cam. Well, I'm like, no, I don't really want to go that route all the time. It'd be nice for every now and then, but like, you know, I guess people want to see the face cam some of the times, right? But for now, I'm just like, because I have like a lot going on behind the scenes, which is like, it's hard for me to just come on and put on a smile. So I just felt like sometimes it's just gonna be weeks and weeks where I don't have a face cam on. Then I get back to doing the face cam again. I promise you, if I was happier, I would probably put more of the face cam. But I'm not a sad person, but lately it's been really tough in the world of Spirit Buddy. Do 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 do. Yeah, Chase, how you doing, by the way? I don't know if I asked you that, but if you are doing okay. let us know. So this level is essentially, it's kind of like a reskin of the Mute City from the previous league. Oh, Chase, this game, like, I used to grow up with this game. F-Zero for Super Nintendo, I played a lot. I'm getting like a lot of nostalgia just playing it, and you guys are here along the ride, you know? We also played Star Fox competition cartridge. I don't have the game per se. I don't have that game because it's rare and it's expensive too, but I emulated it and I got the highest score that I could possibly get, which was 164,000 points. So it's not the original Star Fox game. It's basically, it's a competition cartridge where you play 2 levels and a bonus stage, and you have to get the most points possible. That's essentially what it is, and I beat it. You know, I got the most the points that I could get. Honestly, I don't know if you could actually lose in that game. It's a competition cartridge, but we might have to test that out. But yeah, if we're talking F-Zero, I've played this game so many times when I was a kid. I'm not good at it, but I have a lot of nostalgia. This was one of the games that my brother had, because my brother was a gamer when I was a kid. And, okay, what the fuck? And he basically grew out of gaming when I was really young, and I essentially inherited the Super Nintendo. Also, I used to remember, like, my friend's brother, he had an NES, and he had boxes and boxes of games in it, right? Just a reminder, like, I'm literally really young. And yeah, there was games like Zelda 1, Zelda 2 in there, and, you know, Turtles, Ninja Turtles. I'm talking like, it's a big box of games. And he sells it, like, he sells the whole complete box for like $300. Now, like, as all story goes, like, we would have never known these games would have, like, some of these games would have been like really valuable, because back in the 90s, it's like, you know, your parents would tell you, like, you know, get rid of the games, you don't need, you beat them, right? You don't need them anymore, it's taking up space. But sometimes you could play a game over and over again. You could definitely play it over and over again and get better at the scores and get better at the game. And yeah, like, these NES games and these Super Nintendo games, now they're becoming rare and valuable. And I don't really know if there was another Super Nintendo game to get for me. I probably got every game that I wanted. Like, I have Star Fox complete in the box. I have Donkey Kong Country 1, 2, and 3. Um Hold on, hold that thought for a second. I'm gonna be right back. Yeah, honestly, like, what are your games that you want to get, guys? Like, I'm talking just in general. Like, what are games you want to have in your collection that you're willing to spend some money on it? I made it honestly. I made it a goal. I made it a goal to get all the Star Fox games and all the fzero games, and I did. Um. Well, okay. So I'm not gonna go ahead and get me the Star Fox Super Nintendo competition cartridge because that game is a lot of money, and I don't have that money to spend. Like, how much is it? Like, how much is that competition cartridge? Let's see. Let's take a look on eBay or price charting, as people want to go towards that one. Super Star Fox. Com- Star Fox Super Weekend, it's called. No freaking way. I'm not paying $4,000 for a cartridge. I am so sorry. I would rather, honestly, I would rather buy a reproduction, like a reproduction cartridge of it. Yeah, I mean they're rare, but like I'm not paying a car for that. No freaking way. Like that's a car worthy amount. I would rather have a car than a cartridge, to be honest. Oh my god, hold on. I'm gonna take a picture of this. So there's a cartridge with a score. Like, there's a scorecard. I'm gonna take a picture. I'm gonna put it on Discord. So this is the person that his name is called Jeff. I don't know his whole name. It has his name on it, so I'm not really doing anything wrong by saying it because he put his name out there. But so apparently he has the game cartridge and the scorecard with it, and it's going for like $7,000. That he's trying to ask for that amount. But his score for that game is 144,620 points, and my score that I just got right now in that game particularly was 164,000. So I basically beat his score. I'm gonna post it on the Discord pictures. With how expensive specifically games are getting, I've already given up on the idea of collecting them. I'm more of a hardware collector and modder. I'd say just, mod the consoles and try to get all the games working on it. It's a better way, honestly, and much cheaper. Because if you paid the price for one game, you could have got like, I'm just talking perspectively, you could have gotten like two Nintendo Switches, Nintendo Switch 2, for the price of one game for Super Nintendo. What is up with the AI in this game, dude? Oh my god, they're always in my way! Fuck. Don't don't even approach me. As well as every time I've managed to get my hands on a decently priced game, remakes immediately gets announced and the value drops majorly afterwards. Yeah, man. Well, there's one game in particular that got a remake, and I'm like thinking maybe it's time for me to go see if I can get that box, Super Nintendo box for it. But Super Mario RPG: The Legend of the Seven Crystal Stars. I have the game, but I don't have the box. I think I have the manual, but I'm gonna be frank with you. I don't even think it's worth it to even buy the Super Nintendo boxes anymore because you're paying like $150 for cardboard, and I feel more comfortable buying a reproduction box and just having the game sit in that. I feel more comfortable paying like a $20 reproduction box than a $150 reproduction box, to be honest. Hey, Crunchy. Yeah, same here. I feel way. Firstly, it doesn't hurt the wallet. Secondly, uh, depending on the sources, like if you find a really good like a really good seller that makes good reproduction boxes, sometimes you can barely even tell what like if it's real or not. Like if it's a repro or if it's an authentic box, you know. Obviously, like I gotta pause for a second. Hold on. Obviously, if someone came over your house and was looking through your game collection and they felt it, like if they felt the box, it's a giveaway. You could know right by the feel of it. Like an NES box or Super Nintendo box repro, you would know the feel of like what an authentic box would feel like for Super Nintendo. But like a repro has that plastic type feel to it. The shiny, like if it's too shiny, it's not authentic. But when you take a picture, if you put a picture up on Instagram or like social media to show your friends, like they cannot barely even tell. Yes, Super Mario RPG mentioned. I'm thinking about playing that game soon for Super Nintendo. Crunchy, so nice to see you, buddy. Hopefully your Friday's going good. I'm playing F-Zero for fun. It's just a nostalgia trip. Ba-da-bum. Ba-da-da-da. Ba-da-da. Ba-da-da-da. Whoa, where'd he come from? Back to number one. Let's go. These guys are annoying. Just wait until you get your hands on on an Earthbound cartridge. Then they'll announce a remake for that game too. Like Earthbound is a great game, but I don't think it's worth like $500. You know, like I'm pretty sure there's still more copies out there in the world. It's just a game that didn't sell well back in the day. It's a great game. It's a masterpiece of a game, but I just don't think it's worth the cartridge alone for $500. You know. I'm sorry to say, but I think there's other great. I'm not gonna say better RPG options out there because I think Earthbound, from what a lot of people have said, is a great, well-crafted video game. But I just think there's better options in terms of the RPG genre. There's just better options for cheaper. You know, Secret of Mana. You know, you guys can name the RPGs. I'm not really good with RPG name drops. Crunchy says, "Heck, I'm even fine with repro copies of certain games, like super expensive ones. Yeah. Bought a retro copy with bought a repro copy, reproduction copy of with the manual case of Castlevania Bloodlines. Yeah. See, the question is, does a reproduction blah, 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 that reproduction cartridge, does it work? That's all that you gotta know. If it works, have a ball, have a good time with it. Just make sure you don't pay the same price of the original game, because the goal is to save money, not to pay the same amount. A lot less. That's really the goal of it, to save money. I love retro collecting. Like, collecting retro video games was always a fun pastime for me, you know. And I did a lot of it in the late 2000s, the early 2010s. But somehow people started talking, and then people started like talking to like their grandparents about it. Like, oh yeah, retro video games, they're on the rise. The prices, like now, even like mothers and grandmothers and fathers and grandfathers, now they're starting to know that these retro video games are getting expensive, which really sucks. It was like, you know, kind of a secret. It was kind of a secret, like retro video games. You probably could have gotten like some really great retro video games that were really fun for cheap. And I would tell you that like late 2000s, early 2010s was the perfect time to buy retro video games. Let me just give you an example. Hold on. Pokemon Black and Pokemon White, like the full game, right? Complete in the box. Back in like late 2000s, early 2010s, that game, both those games would be like $15, $20 the most. Free shipping, right? Now in like 2026, those same games are going for like $120. $120. And it's like, it's just so annoying because it wasn't like those games didn't really sell well. They sold a lot of copies. And it's hard. It's hard to be a Pokemon collector. Like if you want to buy the Pokemon games, like, because everything starts to go up in price, and to tell you the truth, it's also ruining it for like the kids that are into Pokemon too. It's so weird, like how greedy some people could be. Oh my god, what opened that? What? Alright, how am I gonna make it back? Oh my god, I hate these things. Alright, we just have to survive. Woo! Yeah, these types of levels are now they're getting really tough. And an authentic copy of Bloodlines alone is like $100 CIB copy. A CIB copy is like $200. I pay $45 for a CIB repro copy. Yeah, and honestly, the $45 ones plays the same as the original, so it's worth it. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure like the box is probably authentic because sometimes like people that make repro, they just use other Sega Genesis shell cases. See, like with Sega Genesis, you could definitely get like an authentic shell case, but I guess the cover art is different, and the game cartridge is a reproduction. I don't. Victim Christ says I don't collect games, but I make it a strong point to buy my games in a physical format. I wish I still had some of my Super Nintendo games, GameCube games, and N64 games, so I buy physical copies of modern games because I figure I'm going to feel the same way about them in the future. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, that's actually true. Because like I'm starting to notice like problems with digital game because the best example that comes up to mind is Scott Pilgrim versus the World, the movie, the game that came out on PS3 around 2012, 2013. People downloaded the game digitally, and then all of a sudden, years later, they took off the game off the store, and people couldn't get the game anymore. And I mean, they brought it back, but like for like 7, 8 years, there was no way to buy that game no more. So buying games physically, you save yourself the hassle, but I'll tell you something. Like honestly, like I buy indie games digitally. I buy games digitally because it's just cheaper for me. But if I want to get like a traditional game, when I say traditional game, we're talking like the Mario's and the Sonics, Legend of Zelda's, like those types of games, I would probably buy digitally. I would probably buy physically. I don't know. I don't really buy. I don't think I've bought a game physically in a long time, but that's because I haven't really bought anything modern lately physically. Well, honestly, the last game that I bought physically was Star Fox 2 for Super Nintendo, and that's not a physical game. Someone had to actually custom make that on eBay. They had to custom make this game because Nintendo never really released Star Fox 2 physically. So I'm happy to say that I have a physical copy of Star Fox 2. Yeah, I'm not a fan of digital only. Because if it's digital only, That's like the only way to get it. I don't mind people buying digital games, but like just give you the option to buy physical games too. To buy it physically. Bitty Cat says even the handheld needed to play them on. Play them on are stupid expensive too. The Game Boy Advance are constantly over $100 and like $150 for an SP in good condition 3DS. Still sells for more than 300. 300? 3DSs are going up and up. I don't know what made people want to buy 3DSs, but now I'm seeing them go for like $500, $600. And I'm like, I think that I still have mine, but I was thinking about like buying another 3DS to modify it, but nope. I'm just gonna keep mine for the rest of the time. Crunchy says Sega released an HD version of Outrun 2 on Xbox 360, but it was digital only and you can't play it anymore. It's not that you can't play anymore. I think someone may have dumped the ROM, the files onto, you know, archives.org. Because I believe if there's a game out there, there's someone out there that was willing to take the files and upload it to the internet. So maybe you could emulate that game. If you could emulate 360, you could probably emulate that game. I'm not sure though, but yeah, I do get what you're saying. Victor and Christ says a few of my games are digital. The small ones, like indie games or collections, I buy as digital. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of my game purchases are on Steam digitally. But I don't know when the last time I bought a game physically, to be honest. It's not that I'm not trying to buy physical games. It's just one, I don't have the space anymore to put physical games in my room. Secondly, I have a budget, man. I don't, you know. Especially that these games are now $70. I was never really a fan of that price hike, you know? Price spike. Yeah, 3DS are worth more now that they were then when they were still being produced. Yeah, because it's probably, you know, that generation of kids that grew up with the 3DS. Now they're like, oh, okay, I sold it a long time ago. Now I want to buy it again. How much is it? What? $500? What? I'll tell you, honestly, I really love the 3DS. You know, I had a blast playing Fire Emblem Reawakening on that. I used to take it all over. I used to take it around me whenever I used to go. Sometimes I would take the 3DS to work. So it was a, you know, a great handheld. And I really do miss like handheld experiences. Like I know there's a Switch and Switch 2, but they're practically just like, oh, I made that jump, thank you. Okay. That turn is really tough. Oh god, I almost lost control. Oh my god, please don't catch up to me. Pew, pew, pew. It's really that jump that scares me. That jump. Because if I mess it up, I have to do the whole stage again, so... Oh my god! Don't do that! You almost wrecked me there. Alright, we got it. Woo, woo. Honestly, the first two leagues I'm okay at. It's the final one that's really tough. I mean, could we give it a shot? I don't know, I'm starting to get tired. Excuse me. You bought Star Wars. You bought Star Wars Outlaws physically. It's actually a key card, but I wanted the box. For Switch 2? By the way, Victor and Cries, I forgot to thank you because I think you gifted me one of the Star Wars games on Steam. Thank you for doing that. That was very kind of you. I want to get to those games eventually. Yeah, honestly, anyone that gifts me a sub, gifts me a game on Steam out of their generosity, thank you so much for doing that. People really need to stop selling their games just because they think they won't want to play them again and have no idea how expensive they will be in the future. Yeah, but Crunchy, I do agree with that. I do agree with you on that, but at the same time, sometimes you have to sell games because, you know, there was a couple of games that I sold from my GameCube collection that is worth thousands and thousands of dollars now. But I had to sell them because I was in a rut. I was in a rut. I was in a tough spot. There was bills. There was problems. Medicare, like, you know, health insurance and all that. But that's not part of it, but sometimes you just have to sell games that you know will get you some money. If you keep holding on to a game, yeah, it's gonna go up and up in price. You're right about that, but you never know. Like, honestly, you never know with games. Like, some games kind of stagnate. They don't move. Like, they just keep staying at that specific price point. But then other games, they get really stupid expensive later on. Crunchy says, I know this will make me sound like an asshole. No, you're not an asshole. But let's see what you gotta say. But hearing someone say, I sold my NES because the Super Nintendo came out and I wanted that irritates me. Why not keep the NES too? Never know when you want to play that again. Yeah, but, you know, and I get what you're saying, you know, because what if you want to play Super Mario Bros. 3 again, right? On the NES, but you sold it, so now you can't play it. And then you buy the Super Nintendo, and you can play Super Mario World. I get what you mean by that, but that whole mentality, like, you know, you don't need that anymore. You beat those games. You could just go ahead and sell it, right? I think that's always been like a mentality that was cast upon parents among their children. Like, you don't need that anymore. You've beaten it. You beat those games. You could sell it if you want to. And I think, honestly, I think even kids nowadays, they're doing that based off like what their parents tell them. Even adults too. It's like, you know, now there's a Switch 2. So people that had a Switch 1 could be like, yeah, I don't need the Switch 1 anymore. Anyways, there's a Switch 2 coming out, so I'm gonna go get the Switch 2. So I'm gonna sell the Switch 1, sell the games, get the new Nintendo Switch 2. So I guess it really depends on like if you're like the type of person that wants to keep the consoles, some people just want to move from one console to another. I don't know. Everyone's different to say the least. But no, that doesn't make you an asshole. No way. Come on now. Or people selling like 50 old games to buy one new one. Yeah. Yeah, it's a trading system that's hard. Because tell you the truth, sometimes it can work against you. Like 50 retro games, or like even like a massive number of retro games for one modern game or one other game that you wanted. Sometimes that could backfire on you, right? Maybe that one game actually is not that great. You never know. It's okay, Victim Cries. We all make decisions. So sometimes it's just things that we've done. Yeah, I mean, if you don't have a choice, even if you do have a choice, but you just need that comfort money, like you just need to be okay for the month, or to make sure something gets done financially. Everyone has their reasons to sell rare and valuable games. Everyone has their reasons. And honestly, if someone sells older collections to get the money, I can't fault them for that. It's hard to get rid of something. It's hard to get rid of like games that are starting to go up in price, and they're sentimental, they're rare. The reason why I feel strongly about it is that my brother sold all my games because he wanted this one stupid game, and just have some hard feelings about it. No, Crunchy, I'll be really mad at if my brother did that. I'll be really mad at him. I would definitely hold a grudge against him. Just imagine, like, let's just say, for example, I'm just making up an example. This would never happen, but let's say when I was younger, my brother sold my copy of Yoshi's Island, my complete in the box copy of Yoshi's Island for Super Nintendo. Now, y'all know that I love Yoshi's Island to death. I love that game. And he would trade that game for like a Madden 97 game on PS1. Like Madden 1997, Madden Football 1997 PS1 game. Like, you know how pissed I would be? I probably would not talk to my brother anymore. Because Yoshi's Island, I mean, I love my brother, but I'm saying Cubivore. Oh no, yeah, that's a very interesting Atlas game. Nah, I mean, look, it's family at the end of the day. Forgive but don't forget. It's hard because it's family. I'm trying to see what I can say to salvage what I'm saying here, but like Cubivore, that is an Atlas game. Atlas. Atlas. Their games are not going down in price, but family is family. But I don't know. I'd say forgive, but not forget. But on the off chance, you could still emulate the game. I'd say like just play it, and if you don't like that game, at least you could say like, okay, you know what? I'm not mad anymore. The game didn't live up to my expectations. And to tell you the truth, like sometimes some of these rare games end up becoming games that are just not that great to begin with. And that's really the truth. Should I do the final league? I don't know if I want to. I don't know if I want to be honest. Oh, no. Oh, this was all on beginner. Like, oh my god. I never even changed the class. Standard mode, expert mode. Oh my god. How would I even manage to do expert mode on... Woo! I don't know. Maybe one day. Maybe one day we'll try. Man, this game is just incredible. Incredibly difficult. To be fair, I didn't like it very much, but let me sell it on my own terms. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I wish I could comment on that because I don't want to say something against your bro, because family's family. But that wasn't really such a great move. Ow, ow, ow. Oh, did you get Cube Report again? Well, if you didn't get it, it's fine. Don't worry. But you said you got all the games you ever wanted, which is always a good feeling. Alright, let me ask you a question. And this is a question that goes for everybody as well. What are 5 games from your collection? I'm just gonna say, like, I'm assuming you guys have more than 5 games in your collection. And if you don't, that's okay too, but what are, like, your top 5 games in your collection that you love having? I could tell you mine. You probably know one of them already, but Yoshi's Island, I'm happy to have that. Donkey Kong Country 2, I love having that game in my collection. Star Fox 64. Yeah, but these are like obvious answers. I'd say, I really love having WarioWare for Game Boy Advance. That was a game that I really, truly enjoyed as a youngin. That game brings back a lot of memories for me. And, Pokemon Crystal. I have Pokemon Crystal. I'm happy to have that game. I'm actually trying to go for a full, complete mainline set of the Pokemon games, and I have all the retro games. That's probably like my holy grail that I have. I'm probably never gonna sell that if I don't know. I don't have the money to get the newer Pokemon mainline games at the moment. It's hard to keep up. There's Pokemon Sword, Pokemon Shield, Pokemon Scarlet, Violet that I need to get now. Not accounting like Pokemon Let's Go Eevee, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu. That's already 6 games to account for if I include those. Yeah, they are mainline title games, so that's 6 games I gotta get. And then Pokemon Arceus Legends. Pokemon, the newer games now. Pokemon Waves and Wind. Pokemon ZA. That's almost like 10 games that I gotta find ways to get those. Oh, nice, Crunchy. That's awesome. Blaster Master. Okay. That's a game I want to try. I don't know. So I've seen a couple people play that game. Some people like had a hard time with it. Some people enjoy that game. I don't know too much about it. Super Mario World, nice. I love that game so much. Do you mind if I ask you, just out of curiosity, Super Mario World, is that completed? Because if you do have that game completed, you have a holy grail on your hands. Twisted Metal 2, ooh yeah, now we're talking. The Super Mario World game is completed? Like the box and everything? Wow, kudos on that. Never let go of that one. Never let go. Because honestly, that box is worth a lot. Now, Super Mario World, I know it's like, that game was sold in waves. I just don't know why it got really expensive. The box. The game cartridge, you could probably get that for like 30 bucks, but like... But the box itself, it got really stupid expensive, you know? Chase says, I still have my green Game Boy Color and Game Boy Yellow. Pokemon Yellow and Red from back in the day. And Pokemon Color. Game Boy Color is awesome. Green. That's a good color, too. You know, I gotta say, the Game Boy Color is such a really cool handheld. I've always loved the Game Boy Color. I love Pokemon, I really do. Every time I do like a Pokemon playthrough, I've only done like 2 Pokemon games so far. We need to get back on the Pokemon grind. You know what? This summer I'm thinking of playing a Pokemon game. So I'll let you guys know what that will be. Summer's almost approaching, so it's almost coming soon. Oh man, took so much damage there. What a piece of shit. Man, you fucked me over. Whoa! Oh my god! That was lucky. That was really lucky. You know, I think the difficulty in this game strikes with it's not the game itself, it's more so like bumping into other cars. That's where the difficulty lies a bit. Also, the rubber banding in this game is a bit off. It's too much. I have a complete in the box copy of Super Mario World that I got my mom to buy me at Kmart. Brand new back in the day in 1999. Wow. Holy shit! That is that is so awesome, and hearing Kmart really brings a joy to my heart. I love Kmart. I used to love Kmart, going there with my mother too. This one particular Kmart that my mother would take me with my grandmother too. It particularly had like a place where after you got done shopping, it's like you sit down, you eat food, and there's some arcades, there's popcorns you can buy. Um, I don't remember if this Kmart, like, I'm pretty sure this Kmart had video games, but I never really. I just went there to shop, like, with, just to be around my mother. Man, I'm sorry, I'm having like some memories now. Like, I'm having some memories of like being around my mother and my grandmother shopping at Kmart. That was really cool and sentimental. Strange that Kmart was selling this one single new copy of Super Mario World. Yeah, you got it. That's awesome. Hold the dear life on that one, because you could. I don't know if you would ever sell it, but it's gonna be worth something. Maybe something that you could pass on to like a next to kin, someone that you would trust with it. I mean, when we all go, like, we want to pass our collections and our valuables to someone you really trust, and we should live a long time, hopefully. You worked there for a short time in 2007, 2008. When did Kmart like close? Do you know when it got out of business? Because if it was going still into 2008, that's incredible. Like, I would assume that Kmart. I still think there is a Kmart or two still there in the world. Like, it's still, there is at least one more Kmart around still. Yeah, it just like I just thought about like my grandmother, Like, I have this very silly thought, like, there was once upon a time when there was like everybody I really cared about around me, and now, now some of them are gone, and Kmart was the thought that made me think about that, but it's not a bad thought. It's just like, how do I explain myself in a way that just makes a lot of sense? It's just, once upon a time, the world around me didn't seem so bleak, and the people around me made it better. Like, some of the people that are no longer with me, some of the people, like, they made it even better for me. Ow. What is wrong with you? Stop. Oh my. How am I even gonna do expert mode if you keep bouncing into me, man? How am I gonna get the practice? Oh my god, dude, stop bumping into me. Alright, just stay alive. Oh my god. Come on, get out of there. Like 10 years ago. Oh, they defunct 10 years ago. So that was 2016. So Kmart has been around for a long time. I wonder how long like when was the first they ever launched in stores? Like Kmart has been around since like the 70s, right? Even longer. The 70s or the 60s, I'm not sure, but yeah, they've been around. I'll tell you something, like they could have even been around longer. I just think whoever was the CFO or like the owner, like the owner of the branch, was like, yeah, it's been a fun run. We're gonna call it here and sell the whole franchise one by one. Go, 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 go. No! Oh! Holy shit! Wow, the rubber banding is crazy. Yeah, like I said, I love this game. It's so unpredictable. Thank you. I hope I got first place. Did I? You bought Resident Evil for Sega Saturn in 2007. It was like $30. How was the Sega Saturn? Like that is a very complicated system, but there is a lot of great, unique games on it. It's a system that's hard to emulate too. There's always been issues for me when I tried to emulate that. There's a couple of games on it that I want to emulate. But there's one game on it that I really want to play. Shining Force 3. I played, so Shining Force 1 and 2 was really a good time on Sega Genesis. And I might want to stream one of the two. I really like the Shining Force games. Those two particularly on Genesis, they were great. But I never got a chance to play Shining Force 3. It's kind of like a life goal of mine to play that eventually. Ow. And the funny thing is, like, when I played those games, I didn't even have a Sega Genesis. There was a game on PS3 called Sonic and the Sega Genesis Collection. And Shining Force 1 and 2 was on that collection. That was a really, if there is someone out there that's looking to go into PS3 game collecting, pick up that one. Pick up that game. Sonic and the Sega Genesis Collection on PS3. It's like, it has a lot of the great Genesis games you would love. Like, it has all the Sonic games, and it has Shinobi. Good time. Yeah, also 360. It's on 360 as well. That is a great game, a good buck for your money. Bang for your buck. And like now people are saying like, oh, people are saying, is PS3 Xbox 360 retro? I'm like, I don't really care. The games are still good. So hopefully the games don't go up in price because people are having debates about if it's retro or not, Booyah! Yeah, Resident Evil games, even on GameCube, is expensive. It's just like it's just a supply and demand for Resident Evil games because there's always going to be a new one coming out, and then people are going to be like, you know what, I'm gonna think about getting the older ones. So honestly, if you are a Resident Evil fan, oh, Firefield, this level's tough. This is the final level. Nice. Wow. Just the turning, I'm not good at turning here. Doing this on expert mode is gonna be super scary. Oh, I think the healing station was on the other side there. We're gonna bump into you. Yep, like always. Yep. There you go. There you go. There you go. Alright. And we're gonna bump into you too. Let's go. Sorry guys. The heat is on. Getting crazy now. Final level time. Oh man, why would you put two? This isn't even like the final lap. Come on. How many bumps? How many bumps? Just don't ram into that guy. Yep. Oh, now we're screwed. Oh yeah, 1 HP in a dream. Woo. Oh my god. There was some crazy moments from this playthrough. Oh wait, this kind of counts as completing a game. So I'm gonna put this down as a game. You know what? I'll post this one on the YouTube archives. Like, this was a great casual run of the game. That, why not? Why not? Thank you for the GGs, I appreciate that. I thought I was gonna die there for a second, but we made it through. Alright, so the thing is, like, you would have think that was the end of the game, but the truth of the matter is, like, you get a special, like, you get a special cutscene if you do all that on the expert mode, which I've never attempted before. I just like how this game looks. I don't know what it is, but the colors and... it's just so different. I can't believe this is like a 1990 game. A game from 1991. Yeah, I just like looking at the background images of the city. Mute City. I never liked the White Land 1 and White Land 2 levels. Never liked these stages at all. And by the way, that's not White Land 1. Look at the background. It's Mute City. They just put it a different color palette there. Look. Look at this one. This is White Land 1. Okay. Let's go back to Mute City 1. It's the same. I just noticed that. Yeah, look at this. I just realized that. I never they just inverted it the way it looked. That's pretty clever. And Big Blue looks like Port Town. Look at the background here. Well, okay, not really, but almost.